Hello! So it is like 2 months after I filmed this video, I think. I wasn't actually planning to post this video because I felt like my energy was kind of low and I just wasn't sure how it was going to go. But I have had several questions about Notion and Notion templates. Anna Lenkovska, whose template I used to use, has gone to a paid thing for her template, and I do think that it is a really good template. I think it would be well worth it. I have actually started to use my own. I completely redid it. And the only thing that's kind of similar is the goals page. It has been completely redone, but it is a similar layout to what she had before. Other than that, everything is different, but I just wanted to provide the link to my template in case anybody wanted to use it. I will go through how to customize it for your languages and for how you want to use it, but I will just let you know I do only use Notion for long-term kind of tracking and planning. I don't use it on the day-to-day, so if you are looking for a template that involves day-to-day planning, this one doesn't have it. Obviously you can add anything that you want to it, but it's not going to be on there. So with that caveat, so this is the template, and I did leave some of my stuff in there just so that you can see how everything is filled out. The main pages are goals, which will be blank for you to fill out. I have quarterly, year, life, and then I have archive where you can put the previous ones, and then I also have this space for reflections. I also just keep these emojis saved in here so that I can copy and paste them instead of having to find them again every time. That's pretty simple. Goals, you can, delete columns here if you are learning a reasonable amount of languages. You can add columns if you are learning an unreasonable amount of languages. There are these language specific pages, but what you're actually going to want to probably focus on are these things watched and books read. So if you are learning multiple languages, you can customize this list here, and you can keep them all on this master list. I did leave 2 shows in here and a couple books in the books read just so you could see how it looks when it's filled out. Obviously you can delete these and add your own. You can change these properties or delete them, add to them, whatever would be useful for you to know. Same for books read. We have language, you can customize that. Format if you want to change these, or whatever. Then within the actual language pages, these are just views of this database. So like my Spanish things watched, see the source here is from the things watched, and it's just a specific view of that filtered for the language. So if you want to change this, change the name of it, you can change that under this drop down, rename, then just filter for whatever the actual language that you want is. And the exact same thing for French, the exact same thing for books read. This is just a view of the books read database with it filtered for French. And once you have it the way that you want it, you can hide these things. You can, hide this filter. And then I did leave this Read the Spanish World in here just blank in case you want it. Obviously if you're not learning Spanish or you're not interested in doing this, you can just delete this out of here and forget about it. But in case you are interested in doing it, now you have the full list of countries. So I think that is kind of the crash course on the template. Again, this is really simple. I guarantee you could do this yourself, but it's here if you want it. I have really been liking it over the past couple months, so we will watch the video of me actually updating my own now in case you want to see that. So I do not open my computer every single day, not even close, and I don't really use Notion on my phone or anything, so Notion doesn't really work for me as a day-to-day planner. I use a bullet journal for day-to-day planning. what I really like Notion for is a place to come back to look at my goals long term. And so I really, really love once a month or less, really coming back to my Notion, updating it, seeing how things are going compared to where they were then, and just kind of having it as a Dropbox for things. So there were a lot of things that I had kind of tried out having, like resource lists and that sort of thing on here that I just really found that I was not using. I may add some more, decorative things here, but I have just a quote, I have goals, and this has not really changed from the previous template that I was using. I have my Q3 goals here, my 2022 goals, my lifelong goals, and then I have an archive where I am saving the results of each quarter as well as a little reflection on how I feel the quarter went. So we will update this momentarily. Back to this page, I have a Spanish page which has just kind of a currently working on or a reminders block here. And then I have these views of my Spanish master lists. So if you go to the main page, I have these master lists of things watched and books read. And so the Spanish ones are those databases filtered for Spanish, and then I will have the same thing for French. Go here to Spanish, things watched. I really, really like this because I can see, how much I've been watching that is in the native language versus dubbed. You can see here doing more native content, but I want that to continue to improve. I don't know if this is up to date. I will have to check. Then I also have Spanish books read. And again, this is for all of time. This is not up to date either, so we can update this. And then through Notion, I also track my unread shelf. I like to see how many unread books I have at all times and kind of try to keep that number fairly small. So I do have this view that shows this is filtered for only my Spanish books. And then I have the same thing for French. There are significantly less items in it because I have only recently started French, but I have the same 3 pages. And that is the bulk of my language learning Notion page. I do also have this database for the reading the Spanish speaking world challenge that I am currently doing. So I am trying to read a book in English and a book in Spanish from every Spanish speaking country. This one is in progress. So then I have it set to show how many are complete as well. And I have this book ideas list for that challenge. And then I also am just keeping a list. I do want to try to read a book from every country in the world, and so I figured while I was starting the Spanish World Challenge, I would just start counting my books here as well, so I'm not grandfathering in any books for either of these challenges. I am starting fresh. And this is my unread shelf. This does need updated a little bit. So let's get to updating some things. I did buy a few new books that have not been added yet, so we will add those. So I am just deleting some books that I will be decluttering. We have a visitor. Okay, so my camera died, but I have just been kind of updating my goals here. I have a rough draft of my Q4 goals, so we will discuss this in a separate video where I talk through my goals, but as you may be able to see, I did not complete many of my Q3 goals, but there were reasons. But I still did actually have a good summer as far as Spanish at least goes, so I'm glad for that. But I am hoping to get back into a good routine in Q4. To be honest, I hate Q4 because I hate winter and we are descending into winter, but that actually means, you know, potentially good things for my language learning because I will be out and about less. I will be, you know, stuck inside more. But if you are interested in more regarding my goals, there's about a week left of the month, so I will probably film that in about a week. But I will probably clean these up and put them up as a template just in case anybody wants to use any of these. But obviously any of these could be altered in any way that you want. If you want any of these characteristics to change, or if you want this to mean something completely different, like you could make it music that you've listened to or resources that you would like to use. As I said, very, very simple. Obviously you could easily just create these yourself if you like, but I will put them up in case they will benefit anybody, and let me know how you like to use Notion and maybe I will try it out as well, and I will see you in the next video.